Well, welcome, crime crazy people, to Veil of Humanity with your hosts, Melonie Yelvington
and Kimberly Taylor.
We are two best friends here to share our passion for true crime with you on a weekly basis. Today, we're bringing you the notorious case of Casey Anthony, who allegedly killed her 3-year-old daughter, Kaylee, back in 2008. Her body, which had been dumped in trash bags in a wooded area a mile from her parents' home, was not found until December of that year. In this case, a case that still to this day angers millions of people on the unfair justice that beautiful little girl received.
Okay, y'all, grab your favorite beverage and possibly a pillow to scream in as we dive into this very sad, crazy case. But before we dive into this case, we want to put trigger warnings in place for y'all. Please note there will be discussion of murder, a child's death, and alleged sexual assault.
Also, we are a fan of the cursey words, just like Miss Emily D. Baker, and we'll probably be dropping several.
Oh, yes, we will. So, Bess, how long would it take you to notice that one of your kids was missing?
Not very long at all.
How long would it take you to report it? Would it take you like an hour?
At best. At best.
How about 31 days?
No.
Not at all? I mean, you wouldn't just casually take your time at all?
No. I mean, my daughter went to her friend's house one time and I didn't know where she was and I was freaking out within 30 minutes. Absolutely not.
Fair enough.
31 days. No.
Well, that is how long it took Casey Anthony to report her daughter, her 3-year-old daughter, missing in July of 2008. 31 days.
That honestly really blows my mind.
Me too. Like, I cannot fathom the idea of my child being missing that long, not a toddler being missing that long. Like, you're going to hear them and know where they're at all times.
Exactly. I mean, I have an 18-month-old nephew and I can't even stand in the kitchen without washing my hands and, needing to know where he is, what he's doing, making sure he's not sticking his finger in a light socket or something crazy.
Exactly.
Much less 31 days of anything.
Yeah.
Without him.
Exactly.
Oh, God.
From there, this is one of the craziest cases I've ever heard. And it is just, it's infuriating. It's frustrating.
To say the least.
And it just baffles the mind and it makes me so freaking mad.
Infuriating is close. It's close. But still. Oh, God.
So Casey Anthony was born March 19th in 1986 in Warren, Ohio to George and Cindy Anthony. She was the second child of the couple. She has an older brother named Lee.
Mm-hmm.
According to the family, Casey was a bright, personable girl from what they thought was an ordinary family. However, according to friends, a pattern of lying started to show in Casey. An example of this was having her family attend her high school graduation, only to discover she had stopped attending classes and was several credits short of graduating. Yeah. She led them to believe she was going to walk that stage anyway. She was like, oh yeah, I'm going to graduate. Y'all come down and watch me graduate. And this heifer didn't even graduate. She couldn't even graduate. She just stopped attending classes.
Like, how do you even think
How do you think that's going to
How do you
work?
think that's a good idea in the first place?
Yeah. So she has a pattern of lying that started way back then in high school.
Oh my gosh. That's a huge lie. I mean, Kimmy, we're not talking about a little white lie.
Yeah, we're not talking about something
Christ.
small, like, oh yeah, I'm... Yeah, no.
Red flag number 1?
Yes, big red flag.
Jesus.
So, and it grows from there. It just grows from there. So at 19, her family received a complete shock after Casey started to gain weight. We're not talking like a little weight. We're talking, because she was already small. Her parents at this time thought that she was pregnant, but Anthony denied this, claiming, "Oh, I'm still a virgin. There's no way I could be pregnant. I'm a virgin."
Okay,
honey. I gotcha at this point. It was not until months into her pregnancy that she did finally admit it. "Oh, guess what? I am pregnant."
Oh, well, yeah, because we have to explain.
We have to explain why you were getting
At
fat.
some point, you still have to explain something.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I mean, you're little bitty and you're gaining all this weight, and then, okay. However, the father has never been identified. She never identified. Either she didn't know who he was, or she just didn't identify him.
She probably just claimed to not know who he was.
Well, she would point to different men, but, claiming the father, but never revealing the truth. So, who knows? Who knows what the truth is on that one? Knowing her, we don't know.
Because so many lies.
Yeah, perhaps she did know who the father was. If she did, why not let him know? Again, this is where the lying comes out. Just more lies on top of lies.
More.
Yeah, she just kept lying. At one point, she had to discuss giving the baby up for adoption, which...
I'm sorry, but like George and Cindy Anthony would not let that happen, I'm sure.
Yeah, it was discouraged by Cindy at that. She didn't want that.
I can imagine, seeing as how I just had my first grandson.
And you can completely relate to that.
I can totally relate. Like, that wouldn't even be an option.
From what I hear, that's a love beyond anything. So I can't imagine that.
It's totally true.
Yeah.
Totally true.
I mean, not to jump ahead or anything, but, Casey's parents did call into question her parenting. So, at that point, why not give up the baby to a family deserving? That's another thing to look at.
Wow.
But I do see it from that point.
What is her behavior that her mom gets to the point where I don't think you're fit for this.
We'll get into that in a little bit. So, on August 9, 2005, Miss Kaylee Marie Anthony was born in Orlando, Florida. She was a sweet little girl who loved to swim. She loved Winnie the Pooh and loved her JoJo, which was Kaylee's father, her grandfather. She would be raised at her grandparents' house in Orlando until mid-June 2008, when she would leave the house with her mother to never return. Unfortunately, this would be the last time that Kaylee would be seen by anybody.
She didn't come back to the house one more time?
No.
That was it.
That was it. That was the last time that she was seen by anybody. This is where the argument comes in. After an argument with Casey, had an argument with her parents about her suitability as a mother. It was called into question at this point. And so that's why she packed up.
This is probably when she actually duked it out with her mom.
Yes.
I believe.
Yes. So this is when all that came into question. And she said, I've had enough. I'm going to pack my baby and I'm going to leave. And so she packed her up and left the house. So over the next several weeks, Cindy would communicate with her daughter and be like, "Hey, I want to see my granddaughter. Can you come by the house or can I come get her?" And this is when Zanny the nanny would come into play and be like, "Oh, she's with the nanny. She's at the park. They're out in Orlando. They're doing this, blah, blah, blah." They're out doing stuff. And I'm at work. I can't bring her to you.
Just excuse after excuse after
Yeah,
excuse.
one lie after another at this point. She couldn't just say, "Hey, yeah, sure, I'll bring her to the house," or, "Come get her. I'm at this apartment. Come get her, sure, I'd love for you to see her."
I would be heartbroken every time, even if my daughter had a busy life.
If you couldn't see your grandson.
I would be hurt all the time if I was told no.
Yeah.
I can just imagine how that felt. But anyways.
They had to have been heartbroken.
I mean, you're gonna get to the point where you're begging.
Yeah.
But imagine your mind doesn't go so far off the deep end like this.
You don't go to murder at all.
No.
That's not where your mind is gonna go.
No.
You're just thinking,
everybody
get busy.
Everybody said she's a good mom. She's a good mom.
Yeah. She's a good mom.
Well,
all her friends said she was a good mom.
Apparently not.
Apparently not. I mean, if her own parents were calling calling her suitability as a mother into question.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, something's going on. I don't know if she was taking naps, if she was sleeping all day, you know, if she was just...
No, she was pretending to go to work.
She was just ignoring her. I mean, what's going on there?
Yeah.
So something was called into question that was just never... They never said. All right, so on July 13, 2008, a letter was received at the Anthony house. This was stating that the Anthony car was in a tow yard, which would be weird to get, you know. I'd be like, okay.
A tow yard.
Yeah. George Anthony went to pick up the car. He noticed that a strange smell was coming from it, which, you know, he's being former law enforcement. And anyone who's smelled decomp, they're going to know that smell. It's a very distinct smell. And once it's in your nose, you never forget it.
Yeah.
There's just certain smells.
Yeah, they just like, if you've smelled it once, you will recognize it again.
Yes. And it's one of those that's just like, it hits.
Yeah.
Also, with that distinct smell, he found his granddaughter's toys, her car seat, and Casey's purse. Now, I'm sorry. One, my purse goes everywhere with me.
Yeah, don't leave that behind.
Yeah, I'm not leaving that behind at all. And her car seat?
I mean,
why would her car seat?
The baby needs to be in it.
Yeah.
Hello.
She's small enough. She still needs to be in a car seat.
So I'm wondering at like one point what's going on?
Why is the car seat not with that baby?
Where are they?
Yeah, and why does that trunk smell?
Well, didn't they open the trunk right there?
Well, he said he could smell it, yeah, because he was looking through the car. And
So
when he opened it, that's where he smelled the decomp. But he said he could smell it. It was a very distinct smell of decomp.
So I'm sure she just thought that trash would
overpower
that if she left it there for however long she left it there.
I'm sorry, that's not going to just overleave that. But not only would I be alarmed and concerned at this point, I'd be freaking out.
Yeah.
You know? Why in the hell is that car seat not with that baby? And or Casey.
But isn't this when...
And there's some explaining needs to be done.
Yeah, but isn't this the part where Cindy calls the first time?
It is. She's, actually, she's concerned and alarmed at this point. So this is where she tracks Casey down. So this is where she finds Casey at Tony Lazzaro's house, the boyfriend. So...
But that girl, what's her name, Sarah, told her, this is where you'll probably find her, right?
Yes.
Because she didn't know where Tony lived, right?
No, so she had to track her down, so she had to go through friends, and that's where she found her. And at this point, this is where Casey finally broke down and did the confessing, you know, of, the baby's with, she confessed to her brother and her mom.
She didn't do it at that apartment, though.
No, she did it back at the house.
Yeah, where her mom was like, get your ass in that car, you're going home with me.
Yes.
Yeah.
She said, get in that car, we're going home.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's when she confessed that she was on June 18th that she left with a babysitter named Zenaida Fernandez Gonzalez in Orlando. And that after the fact that she had kidnapped her, would not give her back. Which, this is that point, is 31 fucking days.
Okay, y'all. If y'all don't know what my tongue is bleeding means, I'm going to go ahead and tell y'all. In my world, my tongue is bleeding. That means I'm holding my tongue because I want to be professional, but yet I have an opinion and I have concerns, especially here.
Yes.
At this point. Oh my God. It's insane. 31 days.
31 days since this baby has been seen.
Like being a mom, I can't even wrap my mind around that.
And during these 31 days, what has Casey been doing?
No partying?
No.
Hot body contest?
Working, remember?
No, she was partying.
She was working for Tony.
Yeah, whatever.
She was working.
Okay.
I'm going to go working.
Show me the pay stubs.
That's where she was working.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and getting the Bella Vita.
The good life.
The good life. Tattoo. And the hot body contest. You know, all the partying, or the working, you know. That's what she was doing in these 31 days.
Oh, come on.
911's out there looking for that baby or trying to get that baby back.
Come on.
So, this is when Cindy Anthony first calls Orange County Sheriff 911 after attempting to take her daughter to the police station for stealing the car.
Oh, they were closed.
They were closed, which
it blows my
mind. Yeah, it blows my mind that a police station's closed, which I get it. I guess they can be closed, but yeah, they're closed. The second and third calls were the intense screaming of Cindy declaring that Casey had informed her that Kaylee was gone, that she'd been kidnapped,
and
by
that she had been missing,
and that she was missing. And then what blows my mind and what gets me is that when Casey gets on the phone to talk to the 911 operator, is how calm and nonchalant she is about this. Like, she's not upset. She's just like, yeah, my daughter's been missing. I've been going through other resources to find her. I'm sorry, what? Okay, so now we're going to take a listen to the first 911 call of Cindy Anthony back in July of 2008. So here we go.
Thank you. Hello. Hi, I drove to the police department here on Pershing, but you guys are closed. I need to bring someone into the police department. Can you tell me where I can, the closest one I can come into? What are you trying to accomplish by bringing them to the station? I have a 22-year-old person that has grand theft sitting in my auto with me. So the 22-year-old person stole something? Yeah. Is this a relative? Yeah. Where did they steal it from? My car and also money. Okay, is this your son? Daughter. Okay, so your daughter stole money from your car? No, my car was stolen. We retrieved it today. We found out where it was at. We retrieved it. I've got that, and I've got affidavit for my banking account. I want to bring her in. I want to press charges. Where did all of this happen? Oh, it's been happening. No, but I need to establish the jurisdiction is what I'm trying to. I live in Orlando. Yeah, but what address did these thefts occur at? Well, I guess my residence, I guess. Okay. That's actually going to be in the jurisdiction of the sheriff's office, ma'am, not the Orlando Police Department. All right. Let me transfer you over to the communications section for Orange County. Okay. Now, is the Orlando Sheriff's Department the one on 436, is that open this afternoon, this evening? The substation you're at on Pershing, if it's Orlando Police, we're open primarily during the day. Uh-huh. But that's not the sheriff, that's the city police, which does not have jurisdiction for your address. I know there's the sheriff's department on 436. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to transfer you to the sheriff's communications section, and you can determine that. Hold on. Okay. Because my next thing will be downtown thing, and we'll have a court order together. If that's what you want to say, we'll do it. You'll never. Well, then you have one. No.
Okay.
Woo-wee. Woo. I gotta give her props.
Yeah, calling the cops are trying to have her own daughter arrested?
I mean, that takes a lot. I mean, I'm sorry, but just I know a lot of people have said a lot of things about her. You know, they'd be standing outside of her home, screaming at her, "Where's your granddaughter?" You know, I mean, oh my God. My heart goes out to her where she's just like, that's fine. She just sounds to me like she's just like, you want to play hardball?
We're going to play hardball.
And be like, I'm game.
Let's go.
You know, I mean, we're talking about my granddaughter. Where is she? I mean, come on. I'm going to get them here somehow.
Yeah, and I mean, at this point, she was just all worried about her car. The car was stolen. We haven't even gotten to the 911 with the grandbaby yet. I mean, just the car being stolen.
Exactly.
I mean, it's hard enough. Speaking of personal experience of calling 911 and the cops on a relative, I mean, that's hard to do.
But what did she steal from her? The bank accounts. She took money from her mom too, as well as that girl, Sarah. Was her name Sarah? What in the world?
Yeah.
You're stealing from this girl, and you stole something from your mom too.
And it's just the type of person she is.
God bless. Anyways, so she just.
Like we've watched.
I hate so much that she is free. Oh, anyways.
My opinion is she shouldn't be, but that's getting ahead of myself here.
Okay, so he's like, hey, you gotta call the sheriff's. You gotta call the sheriff's office.
Yes.
Because of your address.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta go through them and tell them what's happening.
Yes. So we're at that point now, but we're also at the point where she's fixing to find out that Kaylee's missing. So now we're getting to the point where she's calling, saying, hey, there's a kid missing. I need to go this route. So
we're not talking about just Grand Theft Auto anymore. Like we're talking about a 3-year-old little girl here
that's been missing for 31 days.
All right.
So this is the next one.
We have that one.
We're getting into that. So
let's rock it out.
All right, so let's go.
And get my heart racing again.
Whew, like I said, if you got a pillow to scream into, you may want to grab it now.
Another day. I've given you a month. All right, Senator? What's happening? I have someone here that I need to be arrested in my home. They're there right now? Possible missing child. I have a 3-year-old that's been missing for months. A 3-year-old? Yes. Have you reported that? I'm trying to do that now, ma'am. Okay, what did the person do that you need arrested? My daughter. For what? For stealing an auto and stealing money. I already spoke with someone. They said they would pass me through the Orlando Sheriff's Department, have a deputy here. I was in the car. I was going to drive her to the police station, and no one was open. They said they would bring a deputy to my home when I got home to call them. So she stole your vehicle? Yes. When did she do that? On the 30th. I just got it back from the impound. I'd like to speak to an officer. Can you have someone come out to my house? Okay. Okay, I gotta ask you these questions so I can put them in the call, okay? Okay. 30th of June? Yes. Okay, how old is your daughter? 22. Okay, what's her name? My name? Her name. Her name? And you said you have the vehicle back? Yes. I have the statement. She's there right now? Yes, I got her. I finally found her after a month. She's been missing for a month. I found her, but we can't find my granddaughter. 5'1.5".
Oh.
Thin, medium, or heavy build? Thin. Color hair? Brown. What color shirt is she wearing? White. What color pants? Oh, they're shorts. They're plaid. They're like pink and teal and white and black plaid. Does she have any weapons on her? No. Isn't that telling you where her daughter is? Correct. Okay, we'll have deputy out to you as soon as one's available, okay? Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Wow. There's a lot to unfold in that.
She said flat out she's refusing to tell me where she is.
Mm-hmm. That first call, yeah. She's flat out refusing. Would not tell her at that point.
Because she don't have anything together in her head to say.
Mm-mm.
Like, she was not expecting Cindy to come over to Tony's house and just
Flat out.
basically grab her by her hair and drag her ass home and be like, "You're gonna tell me what's going on right now."
Where is she? I want to see my granddaughter. I want to see her now.
So then Zenaida, I dropped her off at Zenaida's house, at Zanny's house.
And she kidnapped her. Because she had been telling her that
more.
she was
There's-
out doing
There's
things with
more.
her.
There's more to that. And she said she had a FaceTime call with her. Anyways, let's not get ahead of ourselves, okay?
There.
Okay. So she's already starting to open that can of worms, you know, of
Starting to get everything.
exactly everything's been hunky dory because I left their house a month ago and I ain't had to answer to nobody for 31 days.
Exactly.
And here she comes dragging me over here and now I've got to say something.
Now I gotta figure it out, and I better figure it out quick. What am I gonna do? It's oh shit moment.
She ain't oh shitting. She thinks she's smarter.
Well, she thinks that, but it's not. It's an oh shit moment. She's gonna have to figure out all these lies in her
She
head.
had to know this moment was coming.
She had to have known, but of course,
I mean,
she's gonna play dumb.
okay.
All right, are we ready for this third call? Well, this is where
This
it gets.
one's way intense.
Yes,
Probably triggered.
this is a trigger warning because this one's very, very intense.
I mean, it really starts to hit. I feel like it really starts to hit Cindy, and you can really, really hear the panic in her voice.
You can really hear that emotion and the panic,
And then let Casey get on the phone.
And that's where the emotions, the anger hits you, and that's where it kind of hits right in the center core of you.
And you're just like, why aren't you?
Why are you not emotional?
more
Why are you
panicked
screaming?
like your mom?
Yeah.
You're supposed to be freaking out of your mind right now. I'm sorry.
I would be.
I understand people say that, oh, everybody handles stuff in different moments, but I'm sorry. You can't change that feeling from a mother being so concerned or not concerned for their child. No matter what the age is, there's something wrong with that. Period. She should not be as calm. But anyways, I'll let you go ahead and play it.
All right.
We'll get after it.
Again, the trigger warning, and you may still want to grab that pillow. Or if you feel like throwing something, you may want to do that.
911, what's your emergency? I called a little bit ago. The deputy sheriff said I found out my granddaughter has been taken. She has been missing for about a third. Her mother finally admitted that she's been missing. Okay, what is the one here now? Okay, what is the address that you're calling from? We're talking about a 3-year-old little girl. My daughter finally admitted that the baby's in the store. I need to find her. Your daughter admitted that the baby is where? The baby said it took her a month ago that my daughter's been looking for. I told you my daughter was missing for a month. I just found her today, but I can't find my granddaughter. She just admitted to me that she's been trying to find her herself. There's something wrong. I found my daughter's car today, and it smells like there's been a dead body in the damn car. Okay, what is the 3-year-old's name? Kaylee. Caylee. Anthony. Kaylee Anthony? Yes. Okay, is she white, black, or Hispanic? She's white. How long has she been missing for? I have not seen her since the 7th of June. What is her date of birth? 8/9/2000. Oh God, she's 3. She's 2005. So it's June.
She didn't make it to.
I understand. Can you calm down for me for just a minute? I need to know what's going on, okay? I'm gonna try and talk. I'm sorry, I'm gonna get down. Is your daughter there? I'm on the phone with them. Is your daughter there? Yeah. Can I speak with her? Do you mind if I speak with her? Thank you. I called them 2 hours ago. They haven't talked to her. She finally admitted to me. He took her a month ago. Ma'am. Can you stand here? can you tell me what's going on a little bit? I'm sorry? Can you tell me a little bit what's going on? My daughter's been missing for the last 31 days. And you know who has her? I know who has her. I tried to contact her. I actually received a phone call today. Now from a number that is no longer in service. I did get to speak to my daughter for
Very convenient.
about a minute. Okay, did you guys go and report a vehicle stolen? Yes, my mom did. Yep. Okay, so there's been a vehicle stolen too? No, this is my vehicle. What vehicle was stolen? It's a 98 Pontiac Sunfire.
The background.
Okay, I have deputies on the way to you right now for that. And now you're 3-year-old, okay, your 3-year-old is missing. Kaylee Anthony. Yes. White female. Anthony. Yes, white female. 3 years old, 8/9/2005, the date of birth? Yes. And you last saw her a month ago? 31 days. For 31 days. Who has her? Do you have a name? Her name is Zenaida Fernandez Gonzalez. Who is that? Babysitter? She's been my nanny for about a year and a half, almost 2 years.
Lies.
Why are you calling now? Why didn't you call 31 days ago? I've been looking for her and have gone through other resources to try to find her, which was stupid.
Where? At the bar?
Can you give me the name of the nanny again? Like, spell it out for me? Zenaida, Zenaida. Last name? Fernandez? Hyphen Gonzalez. I think the officers are here. The officers are there? Yes. Okay, hold on a second. Don't hang up with me yet. I need to... Okay.
All right.
Wow, wow, wow.
Again, how do you stay so calm? My daughter's been missing for 31 days. She's with Zenaida. That's been my nanny for a year and a half now. Why aren't you panicking? Where's the panic and crying? And why are you not hysterical? Why are you not freaking out?
Because she knows where she is.
Where? Whoa.
She knows where she is. That's why.
She's in the wooded area over there.
She's just incapable. I mean, she's so used to lying and manipulating, but I think she's truly incapable of feeling that motherly
Instinct, that love.
Attachment to her. She's like Chris Watts, like going through the motions. Like playing with her in the living room, and there's pictures of her laying on her back, and she's holding her up in the air, and like Kaylee's play biting her, and I think she would just put on a facade. I really do.
I think maybe deep down she did love her daughter. I think there was a love there because some of the pictures do show it. But I think overall she did not want to be a mother.
And her mom forced her to be.
Yes.
Which is where a lot of resentment and fighting and stuff is coming from.
Which is where this
what I
from.
want to know is why were they arguing so much that day? Like, what was she doing for her mom to say, I'm going to take her from you because you're not being a good mom, basically. And then, I'm sorry, but she's like, in her back of her mind, she's thinking, no, you're not.
Yep.
I bet the last thing I'll let happen is that you're not getting her.
Oh, to be a fly on that wall.
Oh.
Can you imagine? Oh, man.
Okay. So
no one ever met this Zenaida Gonzalez.
yeah, nobody.
No one ever met her.
Heard of her or nothing. There was her name was never even spoken before.
Yeah, no one's like, who? I don't know her. I've never met her. She's been her babysitter for a year and a half, and then all of a sudden she kidnapped her, Zanny the nanny.
But she just had a phone call with her earlier.
Yeah, supposedly. And then all
But
of a
now
sudden
the
the
phone
number
is off.
Yeah, that's not suspicious or anything.
Mm-mm.
So, turns out there really is a Zenaida, but she had never met Casey Anthony or Kaylee. So there really is a person, but she'd never met them.
Still, that's just a crazy name to just pull out of the air.
Yeah. Like, did you randomly go through people's mail at the apartment and go, oh, okay, I'm just going to pluck this person out. Okay, we'll just go with them.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Like, no wonder she sued her. I mean, it didn't go anywhere, but I would have sued her too.
Yeah.
For slander.
But you know what else? You can't get blood from a turnip.
True. She ain't gonna get nothing from her.
Alright. That's unfortunate.
You know, the lies just keep adding up. They just keep adding up from there. You know, it's just with the investigation going on now, which, you know, it still baffles me that it took 3 calls for the cops to be called out there. You know, I know they kept saying, okay, well, we got them coming out, but it just was like, okay, we've got 3 calls coming in, but they're not there yet.
Yeah, but her first 2 calls were like, just, I'm pissed off. I need somebody here because I'm trying to get answers about something, but this is the only leg I have to stand on right now to make her give me answers is by calling y'all because she stole my car and stole my money. So that's how they, and when she finally just admitted to Cindy, yeah, the babysitter took her, that's when her calls got amped up. And that's when they were like, okay, this is not just about, you know, Grand Theft Auto anymore. We're talking about a 3-year-old child that's been missing for 31 days. We've got some investigating to do. Pump it up. Move it up. Let's go.
Yeah.
I mean, but yeah, 3 phone calls. Yeah.
So at this point, we're into the investigation. You know, she's being investigated.
They do come because Lee is at the house and George is at the house.
They're talking to everybody. They're getting underway with it. You know, they're trying to make sense of what's going on. You know, she's throwing the Zenaida story out there.
Right.
You know, saying, oh, I went through other channels. She just wouldn't give the baby back. I did talk to her, but now the number's not working.
Pause. Yeah, I got 2 of those diseases. Sorry, it was coming stronger and stronger and stronger. I was trying to let her finish her sentence at least, and not be in mid-sentence. Okay.
You ready?
Yep. Yeah, so the investigation starts.
We're in the middle of the investigation. So, you know, at this point, she's saying that she's working for Universal Studios, and she takes the cops there. You know, they're walking around. She's leading them on a wild goose chase at this point.
Because she says, I have an office over there. I'm an event planner.
Yeah, and she's walking in, and she's like, oh, hi, everybody. Hi, how you doing? What's up? Hey, how you doing? Hey, Carol, how's your son doing? You know, and everyone's just like, hi, hey, what's up?
But she eventually walks up and talks to security, and somehow, I think she didn't convince him to let her in, but he was just like, kind of like you're not on the list as an employee here, but
yeah, I
think the detectives were the ones that were like, hey, just let us in. Flashing a badge.
Yeah.
We gotta check some stuff out. Can we just come in? And she's, oh yeah, come
on in, you know, just, yeah.
And then they're just like, let's just follow her.
Yeah, and they just followed her around. They thought it was suspicious that, you know, people were waving back, but they didn't look like they knew her, you know. It was just kind of like a reaction, like someone waves at you, you're just like, hi.
Right.
You know, it's just like, oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
But she eventually led them down a dead-end hallway, and once they got to the dead end, you know, it's like, she's like, oops, I don't really work here, my bad. Like, wait a minute, what?
Then they immediately took her in a room over there and started voice recording on her.
Yeah, that's when, you know, they were like, okay, what's the deal? What's up?
Yeah, he's like, you're wasting my time.
Yeah.
You're frankly, I think he was like, he wanted to say, you're pissing me off.
Yeah, I'm done with you.
Done.
What's going to happen? This is what's going to go down. We're going to, you know, I'm fixing to arrest you if we don't get to the bottom of this.
Exactly.
You know, because
so that's
she's
like
a
month later. Isn't that like a month later?
We're still in July.
Okay.
So,
Okay,
she
yeah,
was
sure.
arrested on July 16th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, because as the search for Kaylee was intensified, you know, her actions for this past 31 days were scrutinized over because of all the, you know, partying and working.
Yeah, they started finding them hot body contest pictures
and everything, and then the tattoo that reads, you know, Bella
Bella
Vita.
Mm-hmm.
So
she's an artist.
You know, because when she was arrested, she was charged with giving false statements to law enforcement, child neglect, and obstruction of a criminal investigation. But her bail was denied by the judge, saying that Casey had shown willful disregard for the welfare of her child.
That's
another statement.
That's one thing.
So she actually was able to return home on August 21st when the bounty hunter, Leonard Padilla, posted a $500,000 in bail for her.
Right.
He hoped that he hoped that Anthony would lead detectives to find Kaylee. So that's why he did it.
He's like, we'll have a better chance if she's out.
Then she will lead them to her.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he was disappointed that she didn't give additional clues. He labeled her then as being narcissistic and promiscuous.
Oh.
That's what he said.
This is her.
How
does your bail bondsman find out some stuff so intimate about you? My goodness.
I'm wondering what went down behind the scenes, but
ew.
Yeah. In my opinion, she is a narcissistic person. Wow. But that is my opinion.
Jesus.
My opinion, she's a psychopath as well, but that's my opinion as well. At this point, this is when the case makes media sensation across the nation. And of course, that's when we all started becoming fascinated with it and just glued to our TVs.
That's when I think I started hearing Nancy Grace and Tot Mom.
Yes,
I'm like,
Tot Mom.
Who is this Tot Mom?
I need to know more about this information.
Exactly.
I remember being glued to it and watching it, and just fascinated with the case and just horrified. Like, where is this baby? Just the way I became fascinated with Chris Watts, when Letitia Stout, and
at least she was a little bit better actor.
True,
but that's another
podcast.
Another episode. Yes.
Yeah, that's another episode of ours. So we'll get into that one much later. So she was in jail only 8 days after being released. Yeah, at that time she was charged with forging checks and identity theft.
Okay, so that was...
Yeah, she's a bright one. Yeah, let me...
I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed.
Alright, so now we're in the middle of August. We are past her 3rd birthday. Sadly.
Because that was August the 9th of 2008.
Yep. So... the sweet baby's had that 3rd birthday. So on August 11th, 12th, and 13th, meter reader Roy Kronk called police about a suspicious object that was found in a forested area near the Anthony residence.
Ding, 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 ding.
In the first instance, he was directed by the sheriff's office to call the tip line, so he did, but nobody called him back. Regretfully, that's just sad. The second time he called the sheriff's office, and he was eventually met by 2 police officers who, on that occasion, did a search and didn't find anything.
Yeah. Okay, so we're talking about a swampy area probably, right?
Yeah, and they didn't
so we just walked around the edge where the trees are and was like...
I don't see anything.
No. We're good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, okay, that's fine.
3 days in a row.
Nothing. He reported to them that he's seen what appeared to be a skull near a gray bag. They still didn't see anything. Nothing at all. So, it was not until December 11th. We're at 6 months since this baby's been missing.
Since he started calling in, she's been missing, yeah.
That he called again And they searched this time, and they found the remains of a child in a trash bag. The skull had duct tape on it. And on December 19th, the remains were confirmed to be Kaylee Anthony.
So it took 8 days to find out that that was her for sure.
Yeah. They were...
Because they were just looking at bones.
At this point, they were just bones, yeah. There wasn't anything really identifying.
And the duct tape.
Yeah.
With the heart.
With the heart sticker on it.
They did find her clothes around, right? The blanket, the Winnie the Pooh blanket or something?
Yeah, they did find those around her and the clothes, but there was nothing else on them to be not so morose about it, but it was just bones. At this point, it's just, my heart breaks for this little girl. You know, those grandparents were devastated.
Absolutely. I just can't believe another thing is when people, George and Cindy Anthony did not wake up one day and just be like, I'd love to be the world's enemy right now because my daughter kills my granddaughter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand why people treat them
like the
not
enemy.
only Kaylee is the victim, but the grandparents are the victim too.
Yeah.
Victim of her actions of something and doing something to someone that they loved and adored. They're in pain too. They're in pain too. And I hate that people were outside their home and screaming at them and where is Kaylee? You know what happened to her, and just screaming at all kinds of stuff at them. And George having to defend his home and his property and protect his wife. This is horrible.
It is.
She is a horrible person to do that to her family.
She is. She's a very selfish, narcissistic person. Anybody to allegedly take a life of another person is a horrific person. They only are thinking about themselves.
Absolutely.
In this case, that is exactly. Just didn't want to be a mom anymore. I have to use the word allegedly because she was found
allegedly
guilty.
she didn't want to be a mom at all.
Yes.
Like she didn't want to have the pregnancy go forward.
So the autopsy couldn't determine the manner of death at this point. Although hints of chloroform was found in the trunk and on the duct tape. So
It was
possible.
around her nose.
Yeah, it's possible that suffocation could have been the manner of death, but they weren't able to determine it.
I think Dr. G said that was something that was phenomenal. That tape still held her mandula.
Yeah.
And kept her jaw and face together.
It really was. To be in the weather that long and to still be holding on.
And I'm sorry, I have to agree with Dr. G.
Mm-hmm.
There is no reason for duct tape to be on any child's face.
I have to agree too.
So.
There shouldn't be. So, with this, prosecutors decided to seek the death penalty against Casey.
100% agree to that.
Me too. And the trial began in June of 2011. 3 years. After the disappearance of her daughter, Kaylee. This trial broke live. And I remember it breaking live. It dominated news. It dominated the
Court
news.
TV. I had it on there all day long.
Yeah.
It
was the only thing to watch. That was the only thing that mattered at that time. It was like the O.J. Simpson trial of this, It was like, that's what we're going to watch. This is what matters.
Yeah.
The prosecution, they painted a picture of Anthony as a promiscuous party girl. Which, yeah, that seems to suit her.
Yeah, seeing as how she didn't know or allegedly didn't know who Kaylee's father was.
Yeah, they said that she was unconcerned with her missing daughter and responsible for her murder.
The police saw that, right?
That's what the prosecution said.
Oh, the prosecution. Yeah.
So they said a website about toxic chemical chloroform had been searched on the Anthony's home computer. A search that Cindy took responsibility for on the stand, which is strange, but
Yeah, I didn't understand that.
I didn't
She said she
either.
was
But
searching chlorophyll.
chlorophyll, but it ended up searching chloroform, which to me still makes no sense. But okay. And the chloroform was found in the trunk of Anthony's car, like we were saying. All right, so Anthony's defense team, led by Jose Baez,
Who wasn't unknown. He was unknown around there.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know that. Huh.
This case actually skyrocketed him. He was not
Kind of skyrocketed his workload, huh?
Yeah, because you know who else he represented?
Who?
Fernandez. Hernandez, the football player.
Oh yeah, Aaron Hernandez.
He represented him too.
Oh wow.
So he skyrocketed after this one.
Very interesting.
But allegedly, I have to say, I heard that she did favors for Jose Baez as payment. So just saying.
Just saying. Well, she was a promiscuous party girl, so we'll just leave it at
You
that.
know, I wouldn't think that your lawyers are any different. Put him in there on the
Well,
party.
your Bella Watts might find out you're promiscuous too, but we'll just leave it at that. So, she had a co-attorney named Cheney Mason who was working pro bono. Told a very different story than prosecution. Well, of course they're going to tell a different story. You know, according to the defense, Kaylee had drowned in their backyard pool on June 16, 2008, and that George Anthony had covered up the death so that Anthony would be charged with child neglect.
Well, don't you know she had to throw somebody up on the bus up? Might as
Well, of
well
course.
be your dad.
Well, why not?
I mean, Jesus, girl.
Okay, so also during opening statements, Baez shocked the courtroom by saying that George had sexually assaulted Casey beginning at age 8.
Mm-hmm.
And that her brother Lee had also made sexual advances towards her.
No.
But did you know that there was a paternity test for the George and her brother?
To see if they were Kaylee's father.
Yes. Of course
I mean,
they weren't.
is that part of the investigation, or Jesus, is that how promiscuous they thought that she was? I mean, Jesus Christ.
Maybe both?
Gross.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah.
Oh. Alright.
I mean, they're just trying everything at this point, I think.
But I think George knew what was coming. Because I think Baez actually pulled him aside and was like, hey,
this is what's up. This is what we're going to say.
This is what we gotta do.
Yeah.
So, sorry, you're gonna
take the fault for this one. Sorry, bud.
Right.
And of course, George denied everything. So
because Jose and Casey were spitting all lies the whole time.
Yeah.
So, of course.
So on June 30th, the defense rested. And Anthony herself, she did not take the stand at all. So, of course, she's not going to take the stand. She would.
That might be the smartest thing she'd done.
The entire time, yeah. So, July 5th, the jury found Anthony not guilty of first-degree murder, aggravated manslaughter, and aggravated child abuse, citing the mostly circumstantial evidence presented. She was, however, found guilty on 4 counts of providing false information to law enforcement authorities, and thus sentenced to 4 years in jail and $4,000 in fines. Which, how's she gonna pay that? She ain't got no money. She broke. So, two of the false.
She's been working for her lawyers. You know that for 10 years.
Yeah.
They're her family now.
So, 2 of the false information counts would be thrown out later, but she ultimately received credit for time served, so she didn't have to serve anything, and good behavior, please. But having been in prison for 3 years and 1 day, she was released on July 17th.
That's when she came out like,
all prissy and like,
thank you.
So she was required to be on probation for a year.
No, I didn't know
due
that.
to check fraud, yes.
Oh, the check fraud thing.
Yes, and she was ultimately billed with more than $200,000 owed to law enforcement related to the search of Kaylee.
Oof.
Yeah, that was a lot of money.
That's
I
what
wonder if
she's
she ever
been
paid it
working-
back.
That's what she's been working to pay. Or her lawyers paid it for her.
Oh, I bet somebody paid
You
it
know
for
what I
her.
mean?
So what gets me is the life after trial. You know, is the fact that, one, she's a very notorious person. And she stayed in her hometown. She didn't, like,
Like,
change.
she didn't
change.
leave. She didn't leave.
She didn't
She
leave.
was just
Alright, so many people, many people in the public were just completely outraged at the not guilty verdict because
it's a hard pill to swallow.
it is. They were comparing it to the O.J. Simpson
huge.
trial in '95.
Yeah, it's a huge pill to swallow.
Yes.
You're like, no, it cannot be this way.
How did she get a not guilty? How?
Jose Baez, he did his job.
He did his job. Yeah, he did his job. I'll give him that. He did his job.
He did his job.
You know, the one good thing about this trial, it did bring about Kaylee's Law. I don't know if you've heard about it. So
Somewhat.
What it did was it makes it a felony for a parent or legal guardian not to report a missing child. And in 2012, it was signed. It was signed into law.
In Florida.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's been signed in across the U.S. And so that has been
That's
a blessing
amazing.
in disguise.
For sure.
So that is a good thing. You know, they say that one of her defense attorneys says that she was living a life of seclusion, but okay. So in the spring of 2017, Miss Anthony herself gave a series of exclusive interviews because, you know, she was living a life of exclusion, you know, just staying out of the limelight here, to the Associated Press, claiming to this day that she doesn't know how Kaylee died, and adding, and this is a quote from her.
But wait, this is the documentary where, like, or whatever it was that she did that you couldn't see any video of her. She was just talking.
She was just talking.
And she's holding picture frames and stuff.
Correct.
Right.
This is just the interview that she did.
Gotcha.
So this is a direct quote from Casey Anthony. So she said, "I don't give a shit about what anybody thinks of me. I don't care about that. I never will. I'm okay with myself. I sleep pretty good at night." Really? That's how you feel. Okay.
I mean, you know, the mother in me wants to feel like. What?
Let it out, Liz. Let it out.
What are you talking about? I sleep pretty good at night.
Your daughter's dead.
You didn't report her for 31 days.
31 days.
You sent police on a wild goose chase.
Yeah.
I cannot deal with her. I mean, it just, everything that comes out of her mouth is just more bizarre every time she speaks.
Every time. It is just one thing after another with her. Like,
Yeah.
I'm in shock. Like, I sleep pretty good and I don't give a shit what anybody thinks of me.
Well, I think you do.
I think you do.
I really think you do.
I'm pretty sure you read and watch and listen to everything that's put out there about you.
I mean, what else do you have to do?
Yeah. All that full-time work you're doing? So the AP described its interview with her as revealing, bizarre, often contradictory, and ultimately raised more questions about the case than answers. So that speaks a lot. I mean, there's still so many questions about this case. We will never know the full truth.
Oh,
never.
No, never.
It will never be said. Nothing will ever be out there.
Nope.
No. Unfortunately, we will never know the truth of what really happened to that baby.
I totally agree with that 100%. Because there's only one person that knows the truth.
My question is does the defense team know the truth? Do you think they know? But she says she had to tell them. Do they know the truth?
I think they have a hunch, but
What do our listeners think? Do they think they know the truth?
I don't know.
Y'all let us know in the comments. So Anthony currently lives and works with Patrick McKenna, the private detective who led the investigation for her defense team. And that's currently where she's been working.
What does she do?
Pause. So, like I was saying, she works for Patrick McKenna as a legal assistant, and in 2020, she filed paperwork to launch her own private investigation firm. It's called Case Research and Consulting Services, LLC. She previously tried to work as a photographer, but was harassed online, and so she decided to focus her attention on investigation work. Yeah.
Like, what else are you gonna do?
Because you're so good at it? You know, true crime? I don't know.
I mean, okay.
Okay, sure.
Whatever pays the bills for you, girl.
You get it, girl.
Mm-hmm.
You know, this case is still very, this case is still very upsetting. This case is still very haunting. It's very infuriating.
I mean, it's so hard to wrap your mind around.
It truly is.
And I guess that's what makes it so fascinating for us.
I think so. I mean, I honestly do not like Casey Anthony. And I will say it, I do not like Casey Anthony.
I mean, she is not a good person.
She's not.
So.
I know it's alleged that she killed her daughter, but I'm sorry, I think that she did it. And I will always believe that she did it. I do not believe the story about her father taking the body and doing something with it.
I don't either. Not for 1 second.
No. So, alright, my crime crazy people, this concludes part 1 of the Casey Anthony story. Join us where we discuss part 2, where Casey goes into details discussing the investigation and the case.
Oh my God. Can't wait.
It's gonna be a train wreck.
So, alright, my crime crazy people, we'll be back next week with a brand new episode. To see all of our source material, please consult the show's notes. Don't forget to click that subscribe, follow button, and follow us on our social media at Veil of Humanity Podcast, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook.